I'm Tony Siciliano. As most of you know, Tony is short for Anthony. All right, my full name is Anthony Vincent Siciliano, which is actually long for Guido. My friends call me a lot of different variations of Tony. All right, they call me like Tony Sandals, Tony T-shirts, Tony Turtleneck, Tony Tube Socks, Tall Tony, Little Tony, Big Tony, Gay Tony, Straight Tony. I answer to them all. It doesn't matter. Before you guys leave, you might have a name for me too. That's fine. Tony Scooter, Tony... What'd you say, Tony the Tiger? Okay, yeah, that's one. That's a good one. And Tony Towels, that's the last one. I'm 33, single, never married, no kids. My parents call me a disappointment. When I was growing up though, no, my mom used to call me handsome growing up. That was really nice of her, because Italian moms lie a lot. They're really good at it. Like when I was in the 7th grade, she was always like, Anthony, you're so handsome. You know, I was like, I'm not handsome. I'm in 7th grade, I have a unibrow and a mustache. I'm like the prime suspect for the random security check at the airport, you know? I actually almost died the most embarrassing Italian death 2 weeks ago on my couch, laying down, eating pizza, drinking a Peroni, which is an Italian beer, wearing a white tank top, formerly known as a wife beater. We don't call it that anymore, but that's what it used to be called. Italian horn hanging out, watching Goodfellas. I start choking on the pizza crust. And purely out of embarrassment, realizing how funny this would be for the cops to walk in and be like, this must be staged. There's no way someone died this Italian of a death. Goodfellas just on repeat, and he's going, yeah, we got Tommy 2 times, and they're doing the whole thing. Think about what the coroner would have to do when they come and check me. He like takes the sheet, covers him up, cause of death, Italian. I like that there's a lot of deals for like subscription services out there these days. Like I'm a big YouTube guy. I love going on YouTube. I hate the ads, so I get premium. Like for some reason I get like MaxiPad ads when I'm on. They think I'm like a 55-year-old woman who leaks at night. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna pay for the premium. So the premium is $13.99 a month for one person. Or you can upgrade to the family plan, which is $22.99 a month for 6 people. I think that's a ripoff, considering how much it would cost for me to have a family. Wife, kids, 18 years of tuition and stuff. Like, I think I'll just like stick to the one-person plan, right? What are you signing me up for here? A lifetime of commitment? I don't have kids. I'm afraid to have kids. Like that's the truth. It's just like the world's crazy. I don't need to get into it, but y'all know it's crazy, and y'all's been around a while. You've seen things change a little bit. I just don't even know how you handle it. Like 18 years from now, like how do I address my kids when they're trying to go to spring break and they're like, Dad, we got a trip coming up for spring break. I really want you to say yes. And I'm like, no, you can't go to the moon for spring break. I don't care. And like kids would be like, yeah, but the president said it's safe. I'm like, I don't care if President Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson says it's safe. He was a wrestler when I was a kid, all right? You're going to do what I did. You're going to go to Panama City Beach. You're going to have a homeless guy buy you a Four Loko. You're going to go to a Waffle House, eat, throw up on the floor, blame it on them, and lose your virginity to a woman who's taller than you, all right? That's normal, all right? That's the normal I grew up in. Going to the moon. What are these kids talking about? I get to see myself right now. But on the cruise, you have to drink. They have all you can drink packages. I always black out from drinking. That's what I was trying to say. Yeah, yes. Now it's cool, right? I just think the worst night ever to black out from drinking on a cruise would have been the night the Titanic sunk, actually. Yeah, because could you like imagine like waking up on a life raft, like unblacking out, and you see a ship in 2 pieces, and you're like, did I cause that? Because last thing I remember, I was smoking a cigarette with a guy from Milwaukee, and we were pounding pina coladas, went down the slide, went over to the pizza place, boom, I'm on the raft, ship sinking. That's a tough thing to, it's funny because that person survived, and people were like, so how was it? He's like, I don't remember any of it, actually. And you can never drink the same thing you drank that night to make you black out. We've all had like a traumatic night with tequila where you're like, no more, never. For like a decade, I didn't drink tequila. I was like, no more doing that. What's the reason? Oh, I got drunk and pissed off on my friends. Like, oh, no big deal. Like, why did you stop drinking tequila? Well, last time I drank tequila, the Titanic sunk. Can't really do that anymore. Kids, you guys got kids? Some kids of some sort, cool. I'm the same age as Andy from Toy Story, actually, yeah. Yeah, when I was like in kindergarten, he was, Cruise Lady, get off your phone and watch me tell jokes. Stop trying to search me on Instagram, I'll say it at the end, don't worry. She's looking up cruises right now. The Jimmy Buffett Margaritaville cruise, it's $99, it's 2 nights, what could go wrong? You looking up Toy Story? Where have you been, under a rock? Larry's seen Toy Story. Just nod your head, Larry. So, yeah. But Toy Story came out when I was in kindergarten, right? It was like same age as Andy, right? Like it was pretty cool actually. And then like the third movie came out and he was going to college and I was going to college as well too. And it was kind of like a cool moment just to like tie my life together. And I was like, but there's like some moments in between the two that I don't really talk about. And it's like, Andy was a young boy in that room. And at one point in time, he started masturbating in front of all those toys. And they were all sitting there frozen like this, like, what the hell is going on? Who's that new toy? You know? He finally found his Woody, you know? And the T-Rex was trying to do it too. He's like, I can't reach, you know? I feel like the potato heads were weirdly into it for some reason, you know? They're kind of freaks. They're just changing their parts around and stuff, whatever. They started the trans movement in America. Like children's toys, you could just change the parts. You didn't think at some point people were going to be like, wait, can we do that to ourselves too? Pixar Universe is a wild place though, man, because anything can come to life in Pixar Universe, you know, anything. Even Andy's crusty cum sock, you know? I know, it's disgusting. It's so gross, but I'm going to keep going. She likes the crusty cum sock. You're a mom, you've probably had to pick one up before. Yeah, she's like, oh God, don't remind me. You have daughters? I don't want to know anymore. I already said I don't want kids. I don't want to know what happens there. I had a sister. I don't need an inside scoop of what was going on. But when Andy's crusty cum sock comes to life when he leaves the room like everything else does, I imagine he was like an old raspy cigarette smoker. He was like, comes off the ground, like, how's the toy business treating you guys? Woody's like, oh, you know, it's a little slow. He's like, I wish I could say the same. You know, I never thought I'd admit this, but I miss being on his foot. Toy Story. Dating, relationship stuff. I hope I fall in love. I'm trying to find that person. I just can't do it. I'm an okay looking dude or whatever, but you gotta have value with women. You guys, at some point in time, the fellas, you showed value to these women. So I'm trying to figure out my unique ways. And like, I don't, have money and cars and like, I'm trying to become a stand-up comedian. So I have to do things my own way. And like, I tell women this, and this might be hard to relate to, but just hear me out. I tell women that I own 2 sets of bed sheets. And some of you might be saying like, yeah, so what? Well, you're over 50, all right? You have closets full of bed sheets, okay? 20s and 30-year-olds, like a lot of us are still sleeping in sleeping bags. It's our sheets, it's our pillow, it's our blanket, you know? I have 2 whole sets of bed sheets, all right? And they didn't come in a pack, all right? They were purchased separately. And if you looked at the price of these sheets, you'd say, wow, that's expensive for bed sheets. So some women are really into that. Some women will text their friends and be like, I think I might have found a good one, right? But most women are sensible enough. They start asking the real hard-hitting questions. Are you saving for retirement? Have you thought, do you have a 401k? Sorry, the light was flashing very bright in my eyes. Sorry. I buckle under pressure easily. Good thing I wasn't on the Titanic. But they start asking the hard-hitting questions. The 401k, have you ever been arrested? Do you have a background check? I'm like, let me show you my bathroom towels real quick. I have 8 shower towels neatly placed on the wall here that are only used in the shower area. 15 washcloths, 25 hand towels. They're all white because they call me Pablo Escobar. And they never leave the vicinity of this bathroom. Now, for some women at that point, they're like, how do you write your last name? They start trying to do your signature. Like, they're falling in love. Like, this is, at my age, guys, towels and sheets is all you need to impress women. That's what I'm saying. You guys got closets. Some of you guys are retired. You're like, we just change the sheets every day. We have nothing else to do. No, not in this world. But then they start asking more hard-hitting questions. Like, have you ever been in a fight? Like, what are your red flags? Do you have a good relationship with your family? I'm like, have I showed you my kitchen towels yet? I have the green towels for eating, the white towels for cooking, the gray towels for drying off pots and pans, and the black towels are for cleaning. At this point, they're like 6.5 diamond cut. You can go ahead and just get that from K Jewelers. And then they start asking the real hard-hitting questions again. Like, you're really moving through some work here if you have to explain this a little bit more to these women. They start asking questions like, what kind of car do you drive? How's your health? Like, what's your blood type? And I'm like, have I talked to you about my miscellaneous towel closet that I have over here? Beach towels, pool towels, sauna towels, sex towels, spill towels. I told you, they call me Tony Towels for a reason. I have lots of towels. At this point, if they haven't already basically proposed to me, they're like, how many other girls are you doing this with right now? Because these towels are hot, is all I'm trying to say. No, it's funny. It's hard to really, I know you guys are older than me, and that's just an observation, but it's true. And a lot of guys my age, really, you go to their house and be like, hey, can I get a towel for whatever? Maybe you're showering, maybe you're doing anything, and they're like, yeah, let me go get it. You're like, it? Right? You're gonna go get the towel that you have? And they disappear into another room and you hear rustling going around. You're like, yeah. No closet door open for sure. You're just like, what is it? And they come out and they're trying to pretend they're folding it. I'm like, no. I see the wrinkles and the leaves falling off of it. There's a ketchup stain and it's wet on one side. You're like, I'll just take off my shirt and use that. That's better whenever ShamWow shit you're trying to show me here. But it works. I'm telling you, they like it. But I live in downtown St. Petersburg. You guys familiar with that area in Florida? Just over that way. It's a very walkable town. It's a very bikeable town. A lot of people rent scooters. Have you seen those standing bird scooters and stuff? I saw one of those scooters and the first thing I said was I have to own one of those scooters. So I bought one. I have it. I take it around. I go on first dates on the scooter. You want to talk about not needing towels to clean up the wet floor? That's the dry it up move right there. That is how you do not get laid, by getting on one of those bad boys. You see this guy rolling up listening to Creed. Can you take me higher? I pull up and it's the worst horn you've ever heard. It's like meep meep. Every time I pull up, I go, meep meep, just let them know I'm here. And if that wasn't hot, when I get off of it and I get the kickstand that is sexy for sure. At this point, if the woman's in there, she's already asking for the check. We don't even have a table yet. And then I set the alarm. It's not over yet, actually. I bought an alarm. It's the most annoying alarm in the world. It's like, it is so loud. Now, everyone in the restaurant is looking what's going on over there? Who's that man on the scooter? Is he with you? She's like, no. She's trying to adopt a dog so she can go pick it up real quick. But if in the event, somehow, I spit the best game in the world and she wants to come home with me, could you imagine being a woman following a grown-ass man home on a scooter? She's gonna look at that and she's gonna be like, you know what, something doesn't sit right about this. She's gonna veer off, take the highway. She's like, you can't catch me. Yeah, she's right. I'm going 23 miles an hour. I'd be better off getting off and running and trying to catch her. And then something funny happened. Well, it's not funny. Well, now it's funny. I crashed that scooter on December 4th of last year, fractured my orbital bone. I had a huge black eye, absolutely awful. But hey, I'm still here. Just a little brain damage, no problem. Most of these jokes were written before that, to be honest, so it's not like it's helping. I'd still go on first dates looking like that. No more scooter, just a big reminder that I had a scooter. Black eye, kind of scarred up face. I was like, I'm still gonna, put myself out there. I mean, I can do that. And women had a lot of questions about that. They were like, it's a huge red flag. You're like a 33-year-old man whose largest investment was a scooter that he crashed. I don't know if you're the one. I'm like, I get it. I totally get it. Just let me tell you one thing. All I'll say is, let me tell you one thing. Have I told you about my towels and sheets yet? All right, guys, I am Tony Siciliano. You guys have been so much fun. If you have social media, I'm Tony Siciliano. I love you guys. Have a great night.